Okay, I'm gonna make this video real quick. This is something that's really been weighing heavily on my mind. Just weighing. And I watched a few videos about how Forrest, he hired an attorney. He knew the place that he wanted to hide his treasure. Sorry, my eyes are watering. Not because I'm having a spiritual experience or anything. He knew the place that he wanted to hide the treasure before he made the poem, and he said he was I forget the words that he used, but that he had to make it work. He was going to make it work no matter what, this place. And so he hired a lawyer and spent between $8,000 and $10,000 figuring out all the laws on national park land and BLM land and national forest land and private land and Indian land. And he said straight up that like Indian land would be like just, there's so many issues with it, and private land is the same as well. So it's so easy to rule those out, that it's just like not on Indian land, it's not on private land. But something that I couldn't help but notice, and I just feel like it's just been right under our nose the whole time, is the fact that Forrest left a title to the gold, right? A title to the gold, like an ownership of the gold in the poem. And we don't know what's in that 20,000 word autobiography in the chest. But what we do know, or what we think we know, is that you can't find something in a national park and claim it as yours without having to report it and wait 30 days. And it just made me think, wait a second, he left ownership of the gold to you. So if you were to find it, you're not really finding something new at all, because he left it for you. That's why he says, I left it where I hid it, and when you find it, you found it where he left it. And he gave you ownership of it before you found it, because he's giving you, the title to it in the poem, meaning that if you have the poem and you have the chest, you have the title to the gold, and whoever has the chest in the poem is the owner of the chest. And therefore, it would seem to circumnavigate, and you call me out if you think this is wrong, it would seem if it were in a national park and you had the title and the chest, it would seem to circumnavigate this idea of finders keepers, because he left it for you. It wasn't that he lost it. He left it for the finder to retrieve. And I mean, it just opened my eyes like, hang on, it could be. People have been trying to rule out Mesa Verde or Glacier National Park or Yellowstone. I'm very keen on Yellowstone, at least the region. And it just made me think, dude, it literally could be in the park this whole time. And I think a lot of people, including myself, have just kind of discounted because, the laws say this or this, when really he hired an attorney for a reason, because he wanted to make it so he could circumnavigate those laws in a legal fashion. He didn't really need to do that with BLM land, and I don't know all the legalities of national forest land, but there ain't nobody out there patrolling in the mountain. Like, literally no one's coming to find you. Whereas if in the national park, it would be possibly a little trickier. And that's why you have to tarry scant and go in peace to not worry about any hang-ups, or the only reason you'd be tarrying scant in the national forest would probably be to avoid grizzly bears or black bears. There wouldn't really be any other reason to tarry scant. But in a park, you'd have to make sure that you got out of there and you let the dust settle and not have to worry about the legalities of it. And listen, I put it there for you. You found it. You have the title. End of story. End of ball game. And I don't know. I just feel like it could be that simple. And this is just to be shooting from the hip. And every time you run into a dead end somewhere else, or you think you found it, then you have to start retracing your steps. It's like being in a maze, right? And you go to one end, and then you go back to what you know. And I'm not saying where Warm Waters Halt is Yellowstone, is the park, in that you begin it where it halts and go into it. But dang, that just throws it. It really causes you to reflect on, could it be that simple, and that we could all be right, that we all just converge on the national park and we know it's somewhere in these boundaries somewhere, and there are only so many places it could be, and that it really could be that simple. And we're overthinking it, just this idea that it couldn't be in the park because of this, that, and the other. He's giving you ownership. When you take the chest, you'll have the poem with you. You now have ownership of his chest and an autobiography to prove that it's his. So those are my thoughts today. Let me know what you think. I'm just trying to keep an open mind with this. I'm not saying that I believe it for sure to be in the park. I'm just saying that all this time I've kind of ruled it out is really silly, considering the forward thinking that Forrest had to hire someone to make his solve work no matter what. A national park would be one of the hardest places for his solve to work unless he took the proper means to protect the finder. So let me know what you guys think. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed and you love this video, make sure you subscribe. God bless you guys. Have a great day.